In this video, I'm going to show you how to find and use the Window Snipping Tool. The snipping tool allows you to capture, as an image file, a snapshot, so to speak, of a portion of what's being displayed on your computer monitor or monitors. In the old days, we had to use the now dusty print screen key on the top right corner of your computer keyboard. And the print screen captured everything on your monitor. And if you had two monitors, it captured both sides and then put them together in the middle. So if you wanted to only a portion of your screen captured as an image file, you had to go through the extra steps of opening up an image manipulation program like Windows Paint, GIMP, or Photoshop in order to crop out what you didn't need. In retrospect, this seems rather primitive and more work than it should have been. So kudos to the developers of the snipping tool, because now you can capture only a portion of your screen, no need for extra steps or programs, plus it gives you some limited editing capabilities like pens and highlighters in various colors of your choosing, plus an eraser to remove your edits. So where, might you ask, can I find this magic tool? Well, we're going to start by finding this magic tool by making it a little bit easier for us to find next time, but it's kind of buried in the Windows Program Start menu. And the way you find that is you go to the left-hand corner on the left side of your taskbar. My taskbar is on my left monitor, and it's over here in the lower left-hand corner. Yours is going to be on the left side, too. If you rest your cursor over that, it says it's Start, but otherwise there's no real indication that it's a Start button. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and depress that. What you want to do is you want to look under All Programs. Under All Programs, you're going to see a folder in here called Accessories. It's in Accessories. You're going to find Notepad in here and Paint too. But here's the snipping tool right here. And before we click on that, let's make this easier for us to find next time. And if you take the Control key depressed, and with the left mouse button, we're going to go ahead and drag that snipping tool out here into our desktop and just drop that into place. Something that might be also equally convenient is put it down here on our taskbar. So the way we do that, again, with the Control key depressed, let's go ahead and drag a copy of that down here. It's a shortcut. And we're just going to go ahead and pin that to the taskbar. So that way it's on our desktop and it's on our taskbar. And the taskbar is a lot more convenient too, because it's always there, it's always visible. Programs typically don't cover it up. And it's easy to actually access. Okay, so now that snipping tool is on our taskbar, let's go ahead and use it. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a document that I've been using for this video actually, and let's snip at it a little bit. So on the taskbar, all we have to do is click on it once. It brings it up. You notice that the first thing it does, default settings right out of the box, and we're going to do this real quick at first so you can at least get started with what you want to do. The screen actually gets light. Right out of the box, it's ready to capture something. So what you do with your left mouse button, you just plant one corner of a rectangle, you pull that out for the other corner, and now you have an image that you can save. So go up to the Save button, put it in the folder location of your choice. Usually it calls it just Capture, and there's a picture of it as it existed before. And name it whatever you like, and click Save. If you want to overwrite something, that's okay. And that's it. You're done. Go ahead and use that image in whatever application you want to use it for. Now, what's going to come up next is they're going to show you a lot of the details associated with the snipping tools. There are quite a bit of options in here that you actually might find useful. Okay, so let's take our snipping tool and let's just do this one more time. Let's go ahead and X that out, and we're going to start all over again. So now we have our document. We're going to do some more snipping at it. And we'll start from the very beginning and kind of go through all the details here. So what we have in here is a little bit of a dialog box. If we go to the options in here, we can change some of these options for this dialog box. If we click inside of this and look at some of these actually apply to the initial screen that you see. So we could start from the top and work our way down. We could hide the instruction text, and what that's going to do is it's going to hide this text in here. So if we kind of click on that and go to OK, bang, it disappears. So we probably want to have that, so we're going to put that back in. Always copy snips to the clipboard. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. What that does is it gives you the capacity, like in your Word document here, to make a snip, keep that off to the side, and do a Control-V right into your document, and puts it right into place. That's how I got this image in there. Include URL below snips, HTML only. I think what that does is just embeds a certain URL inside your snip if you were to put that into an HTML email or into a website. I think it's part of the image when it saves. We're not going to worry about that right now though, but you might want to explore that a little bit later. Prompt to save snips before exiting. So if you actually snip something, and like we had in that dialog box after we're done snipping something, and we wanted to close that, it's not going to let us close until we actually saved that. So it's something you might want to consider. Show screen overlay when snipping tool is active. If we were to unclick that and go to OK and then initiate that again. So if you remember before how the screen got really light, but now it's not going to get light. So if we were to make a snip over here with our X, it's flashing over here, the screen is not going to get light. But, you know, whatever's convenient for you. If you don't like the screen getting really light, then you don't have to do that. So we're going to say no to that. Let's go back to our options. Let's go ahead and bring that snipping tool back again. Go back to our options. We're going to go ahead and, yes, show that screen. I kind of like to have a visual indication that things going on. Ink color. We're going to cover that here in just a little bit, but it applies to the pen when we actually do some more snipping. So we're going to go to OK. So we started from the right. We're going to go to the left over here. We could do a cancel in here if we want to do that. If we had a snip going, we can do a cancel on that. New. We can go ahead and click on the new button. The screen is going to get light as we did before. Before we do that, let me show you some options that are available in here. Right now we just have a rectangular select, but we could actually do other things. Freeform snip. I mean, this is pretty cool. Watch this. I mean, you could actually do something, maybe highlight something like that and do that sort of snip. You get something that looks kind of like Mickey Mouse in here. We can go back to new and do some more options in here. That was our freeform. Rectangular snip is the default setting. A window snip. It'll do the next window that's available, so it's actually filling the screen of the video that I'm capturing here. But if it didn't have that in here, it would do actually the window screen, so you don't have to try to get it just right there in the corner from corner over here. It'll actually capture that window. Another one down here is a full screen snip. Now it's going to take an image of the full screen. So it's kind of off the screen here a little bit, but it'll actually take an image of the full screen, kind of like what print screen will do. So let's go back to new and go to some of the options in here. Let's go back to our rectangular snip, and then we'll go from there. So now we have the capacity to do a rectangular snip, and we'll go through some of the options after we actually create the snip. So now we have our snip in place. We have some more options to go through. So if we go to File, we can start from the very top, go to a new snip, Control-N. Those are typical Windows functions. We could do Save As if we want to. We could send it to something. We could do an email recipient, or we could do an email recipient as an attachment. So if we do an email recipient, what that's going to do is it's going to embed that into an email, kind of like sending pictures to an email. And it'll embed it in there. And then you have Windows capabilities for editing that image if you want to do that. Or you can send it as an attachment. I think that's pretty self-explanatory over there. Edit. We can copy it. Again, copy to the clipboard. If it's not automatically copied to the clipboard, it gives us an opportunity there too. Tools. We could do a pen. We could do a red pen, blue pen, black pen. We could do a custom pen. With a customize, we could actually customize it over here. So our color right now is lime. If you like lime, there's a lot of colors we could choose from. We don't have the capacity to actually do custom colors, but I think the color selections in here are probably adequate as they are. Thickness. We could do a pen thickness here. We could do fine, medium. We could do thick. We could do a different type of a tip. We have a chisel tip right now, or we could do a round tip. And then we can go to OK. And what that does is it gives us the capacity to actually do put some pen edits in here. So let's go back to tools. From pen, we can go to highlighter. Highlighter is always going to be in yellow, so we can highlight some text in here, or maybe put circles around things if we want to do that. Another option for tools in here is eraser, so we can erase everything we've done so far. All we have to do is take the eraser and touch some of the edits we put in there. And then options in here too, so we have the capacity to go into these options. We've seen some of these options before, but again, some of these are redundant. You can find a lot of these tools and options that are available in different ways. We can find them in different ways. So this is just one way by using the pull-down menu that we have here on the top. So again, we have our ink selection, and we can show the selection ink after snips have been captured. So if you do that, if you click on this thing, what it's going to do is it's going to take that lime color over here and actually highlight everything that's been captured. So if it's not clear what's being captured in here, what's being snipped, and what's white in the background, this makes it very clear what the boundary of our snip's going to be. So help. We have the capacity to do F1 and go to help, and it'll give us the capacity to go through some of the help options in here. But a lot of these options that we covered in here in our pull-down menu are also available in this graphic menu here too. So we can go back to New and do this all over again. Do a rectangular snip if we want to do that. We can go to save. We can actually save that here. This next one is copy it. Copy it to the clipboard if you like, if that's not automatic in regard to a function. We can send a snip, again, by email recipient or email recipient as an attachment. Here's our pen tool again. So we can do a blue pen, red pen if we want to do that. And we can customize that as you've seen before. We have our highlighter in here. Back to pen, but we can do our highlighter in here too. And again, the erase tool, all we have to do is take that erase tool and click on the edit, the pen or the highlighter that we use in order to put that together. So at the very end, we can go ahead and save that snip. But here's something I want to show you. Well, as long as we have that Word document open, let me get that snip out of here, we can insert that snip in here, which is really kind of cool. So let's put it like, I don't know, maybe here by edits. If we do a Control V, it pastes the image where you left the cursor. You can also grab the corners and manage its shape. So when you have your image embedded over here in your Word document or in your email document, you have some editing capabilities in here that might be helpful. If you were to right click on that, you can go down here to Format Picture. With Format Picture, you have a lot of options in here. I like going to Layout and go to Tight. And what that does is it gives you the capacity to actually move that around in your document and maybe put it over another image that we have in here, or the text will actually wrap around that if you want to do that. Okay, one more thing before we leave this. Let's bring our snip back and let's save it. We can save it a couple different ways. We can go under File and go to File, Save As, or we can go to, imagine this, a floppy disk. I haven't seen or used a floppy disk in probably a decade, but there it is, and gives us the ability to save that file. Save it in a folder location of your choice with the name of your choice, of course. It's always going to default to capture. It's also going to default to a JPEG file format, but we could also click inside of this for the Save As type. And we have 4 different options in here. We have a PNG option for like maybe transparencies. If we want to make a portion of the image transparent, PNG is good for that. A GIF file for like animated GIFs perhaps. JPEGs, it automatically defaults to that. And then we have this file format down here, MHT file, which is more typically associated with archiving of web pages, like takes external links like for images and stuff like that and tries to embed that into the web page. But if you save it in that format, I'm not certain how you'd open that. You'll probably have to do a little bit more research on that. So I'm going to go ahead and call it capture. We're going to go ahead and save over what we have there before, and we'll call that done. So that ends this video tutorial on how to use the snipping tool as a method for capturing a portion of your computer screen without having to use the holistic approach of a full screen capture using the print screen button and an image manipulation program to crop out what you don't want. The snipping tool has a lot of options that enhance its capability, like a pen and a highlighter, plus the capacity to be able to save the image to the clipboard for immediate use in emails, documents, and even image programs. I hope you found this video informative and will join me again for other tutorials in the land of design.